I'm doing a sketch painting out in the Lynne Valley, which is about a half an hour's walk out of Sheffield where I live. It was a really cold day. It started off quite sunny, but unfortunately the light disappeared very quickly, so I was a bit disappointed it was a bit flat. I took a while to choose what to draw because of that, and decided in the end to go for something that kind of felt bleak, like the day was looking really. I'm not much of a painter, to be honest. I've always drawn lots, but it's only recently that I've started to experiment with watercolours, so I'm sort of learning as I'm going along. I want to make sure I leave a lot of the white paper showing. That's one thing with watercolours that I've learned, that if you overdo it, it can become very heavy. The white paper is light that comes through the marks and the colours. I like to use bold mark making. That's the way that I draw, so it feels natural to do that with the watercolour as well. I'm not going for something terribly realistic. I'm trying to capture the feel of the place and trying to keep the marks interesting so that the actual sketch itself has a sort of vibrancy of its own. I always try and exaggerate the colours that I can see. The purples that I'm painting with are never quite as purple in reality, and the blues of the sky I'm pulling out more than is actually there. Because I'm not terribly confident with watercolour, sometimes I do like to work in afterwards with pencil, particularly when I've got little fiddly details like these trees to do. And also the contrast then that you get between the fine lines of the pencil and the big sploshy lines of the paint, I think can really help. I'm using coloured pencil rather than lead pencil. I sometimes do use lead pencil over the top of watercolour, but when I do, I usually use something bolder like a graphite stick, because I find that ordinary lead pencil, even a soft pencil, can get a bit lost. I think coloured line is richer as well, adds more to the drawing. I didn't want to just do one area with the pencil. I think it's important that if you're going to have a different media, a different kind of mark, that it's balanced across the drawing. So I'm picking out some of the grasses. I'm also trying to give a sort of sense of depth to it by using bigger marks in the foreground and then the tailing away to just tiny weeny marks in the background. The lovely thing about watercolour pencils rather than regular colour pencils is of course that you can paint onto them as well with water. This is my water brush, which again is a reasonably new discovery. I've only been using it I think about a year. It means that you don't have to have quite as much paraphernalia when you're drawing out on location. If you're not careful, you can go on just slightly too long. On the other hand, you don't want to finish prematurely, so getting that right moment sometimes is half the battle, to say now it's done. You can see lots more of my sketch work and many more films on my website. Bye for now.